Hi, this is Lucky Robin, and this is update 15 for the French Biointensive Organic Raised Bed Garden. I'm in Northwest Washington in Zone 7B. Been harvesting some spearmint this week, a little peppermint, but mostly the spearmint. I think these poppies are going to be purple, just don't know yet. Time's starting to finally get some size on it. Echinacea's got flower heads, but no flowers yet. Poppies are huge, but look, the calendula. It has flowers starting. It's evening. I had to wait for the rain to stop and the wind to stop, so these are open during the day. I'm letting this carrot go to seed. I want to see what the carrot flower looks like. Got my basil in here. The beets are starting to get some size on them. Not really too much, but starting. I don't know if any of these carrots will actually produce carrots. I've gotten maybe 4 good ones. So planting in the fall is not the best experiment. Something got onto this pepper plant and killed the top, but it's got some leaves coming up, so I'm hoping it's not dead. The fennel's doing real well. Getting quite large. And the kale, the smaller kale is not doing as good. That one's being attacked, so I think that's going to have to be a sacrifice plant. Tomatoes are doing pretty well. We haven't had a lot of sun this week, maybe 2 days, and the rest has just been rain, constant rain. So I don't know. Waiting for the lavender to bloom. Looks like the cilantro needs to be harvested again. Sage is doing really well. I've been able to harvest some marjoram, and the hyssop hasn't got any flowers yet. The yarrow has flower heads still, they haven't opened yet. So I've been getting some strawberries this week. And this back garden's been about a week behind the front. It doesn't get quite as much sun as the front, but you can see there's some red ones in there. Probably pick them tomorrow. And quite a lot of the kohlrabi's getting sized up. It's kind of hard to see through there. The Brussels sprouts really took some growth though. I probably will have to take this off, this netting off in about a week. I took out one of the chard. The chard's all going to seed, so I'm going to be taking it out one at a time and feeding it to the ducks, and that makes them very happy. There's lots of peas on the snow pea vines, and I know this isn't a fruit garden update, but look, got a couple raspberries. Spinach is bolting. I've tried to keep it down, but it doesn't want to anymore. But we got quite a lot out of it. So I'll probably start pulling those one at a time and feeding them to the birds as well. Oh, there's a little rabbit out here. The cucumber is getting quite big. Not like the zucchini, but still. There's another kohlrabi in there. Now, I saw earlier one of the broccoli starting to form head in there. Onions are doing well. Got volunteer tomato plants coming up all over the place. It's ridiculous. I keep pulling them out. No flowers on the bee balm yet, but I think these are the beginning of flower heads forming. Very infant stage. Lots of lettuce still. The celery's doing fantastic now. It's finally overtaken the parsley. I've been harvesting both parsleys really hard. I know, duckies. Gotta deadhead the flowers. But they're really doing pretty well. And I've pulled some of this lettuce. I'm working on giving that to the birds as well. And then this is the zucchini and squash. It's really taken over. And the borage is about to blossom. So that's all that's going on in the garden this week. Talk to you next time. Hi, this is Lucky Robin, and this is update 16 for the French Biointensive Organic Raised Bed Garden. I'm in Northwest Washington in Zone 7B. The spearmint and the peppermint are both doing very well. The chives are kind of having the sun blocked quite a bit, so I'm not sure they're doing so good. Maybe once the poppies get out of here. This poppy started blooming, and it's the same color as the one over there. Got my, oh, is that lavender? Yeah, my lavender has really taken off, and so has the thyme since last week. The sage, not as much. I believe that is lavender too. Yeah, that's Provence lavender. And then that thyme is also doing really well. And you can see how well the calendula is doing. And the living sorrel is doing pretty good under here. I'll probably be pulling this out pretty soon since it's on its last flower heads almost. I think it's just a couple more coming up and then it'll be done, and I don't want it to seed in here. Gotten quite a few strawberries the last few days. The weather has been super hot and they've just really ripened up. That's my carrot that I'm letting go to seed. I'm curious as to what the flower will look like. The basil is tucked in here. It's doing pretty good. The beets are getting a lot bigger. You can see the tomatoes are doing pretty well over there. And the peppers doing okay. Not putting on a huge amount of growth yet. This one particularly because the top broke off, but it's still got leaves. I think my pansies have about had it. The last 2 days were too scorching. I can try moving it back onto the porch, but I don't know that it'll revive. Fennel here on the end is doing well. The bronze one's not getting as much light. You can see that kale is huge. Yeah, even the smaller kale is starting to finally put some size on. That plant back there is the sacrifice plant. That's the one the bugs seem to be drawn to, so I leave it there for them to not be interested in the other plants. Yeah, and picking off the blossoms again on here because I don't want it to flower yet. I won't get as many tomatoes if it does. You can see the oregano is trying to put up flower heads. This lavender still hasn't flowered, but you can actually see a hint of pink on it now. The cilantro I keep harvesting pretty heavily. It's already coming back again. I need to pick off some of these flower heads and finish drying them inside on the calendula. And the hyssop still hasn't produced any flower heads. It's the flowers that you save on hyssop. The yarrow is finally starting to open its flower heads and turn white. Okay, I had to take the netting off of this bed because the plants were starting to get too big. Brussels sprouts are doing really well. The kohlrabi in here, well, that one's not. That one's, that could be cauliflower, that could be broccoli. But you can see the kohlrabi is really sizing up in here. And this was the stuff I planted last on the kohlrabi. These are mustard plants. It's bolting. the tatsoi is also bolting, and I don't know, the garlic that I planted along here is going to do very well. That's kind of a hit or miss since I did it so late and I did it from starts. The cabbage here is getting eaten on really, really bad. They call this Chinese cabbage. Not sure exactly. It's kind of a little bit wrinkly like Savoy, but I don't think it is. It might be more like a Napa style, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that. We'll have to see. Spinach, still bolting. I think I have to give up at this point on the spinach, but lots of kohlrabi in here. That is getting ready. Oh, it's almost ready, maybe in a day or two. I like them big. And this is the last chard that's in here. I've been pulling them and giving them to the birds since they've bolted beyond stopping it. A couple more kohlrabi. And then the peas, I need to get these picked because they're just loaded. Just haven't had as much time to tend to the garden because I'm taking care of my mom. But she's starting to get a little more able to do for herself, so hopefully I'll be able to get the garden back into shape fairly quickly. Onions are doing really well. A couple of them you can actually see a large bulb there, and these are bulbing. So I don't know how good the Weathersfield are going to do. I was really, really disappointed in them. There's a bronze fennel plant over there too. Alright, back over here, the broccoli is headed, and it's getting quite a bit larger. 4 days ago, that one was the size of that one. Green onions are great. In fact, they might even be turning into spring onions at this rate, even though it's summer. This lettuce is gonna bolt soon, so I'll probably be pulling it. Starting to get flower heads on the bee balm, at least I think. They're flower heads. I don't remember from last year. This lettuce is really, really thriving. The birds want some of it badly. Oh, that one's no good. Something bored it off the root. Alright, so yeah, the celery's getting big. And it's time to harvest the parsley. Both kinds again. I've been keeping the dehydrator going pretty well this week. Flowers are doing good. That spinach is bolted, and the hyssop is, well, it hasn't flowered either. Or I think it's starting to form the flower heads. So, now, let's see. This is the acorn squash. And this, I believe, is either Petty Pan or Gold Rush. One of them is here, one of them's there. And then that one is the regular zucchini. You can see that that's just developed a large amount of foliage in the last week. And look, that looks like the start of flowers. So maybe by next week there'll be some flowers and possibly the start of fruit. And look at the borage. Aren't these flowers beautiful? So tiny. And back over here, the cucumbers are finally starting to put on some size this week. I need to get something in here for them to climb though. And the heliotrope is doing very well, as are the snaps. And that's an herb called shisu right there. And it has really gotten big. So things are doing really well in the garden. I'm quite pleased with this growing method. Alright, I will talk to you next week.